What happens when years of waiting, hoping, and searching finally end? Today, you'll see 6 unforgettable reunions between animals and their humans. These moments will make you smile, cry, and believe in love all over again. But before we go dive, don't forget to like and subscribe. Let's begin. Story 1. Max the dog. Max wasn't just a dog, he was family. For years, he slept at the foot of his owner's bed, went on morning walks, and greeted everyone with a wagging tail. But one rainy evening, a gate was left open. By the time his family realized, Max had vanished into the night. They searched for weeks, putting up flyers, calling shelters, and even posting online every single day. Months passed, then years. The hope began to fade, until one ordinary Tuesday, the phone rang. "We think we have your dog," a shelter worker said. Skeptical but desperate, the family drove 2 hours to the shelter. As soon as Max saw them, his tail froze for a moment, as if he was in disbelief. Then, he exploded with joy, jumping, whining, and spinning in circles. 3 years apart, gone in an instant. Max was finally home. Story 2. Luna the cat. When wildfires tore through Northern California, flames consumed everything in their path: houses, trees, and entire neighborhoods. In the middle of the chaos was Luna, a gentle gray cat who had always been her family's shadow. When evacuation orders came, her owners had only minutes to escape. In the panic, with sirens wailing and smoke filling the air, Luna bolted under the porch, too frightened to come out. Her family called desperately, but there was no time. With hearts breaking, they had to leave without her. In the months that followed, they never stopped searching. Whenever it was safe, they drove back to the burned neighborhood, leaving food and blankets in familiar spots. They even recorded messages, hoping Luna might recognize their voices if she was still nearby. Each visit ended in silence. Each passing week made hope harder to hold on to. Then, 14 long months later, a rescue group caught sight of a skinny gray cat wandering the ruins. They set a humane trap and scanned for a microchip. The name came back instantly: Luna. When her family arrived, Luna hesitated. She froze, ears twitching, nose lifting to the air. And then, recognition washed over her. With a sudden leap, she bounded into their arms, pressing her face against theirs, purring so loudly it drowned out the noise around them. They had lost their home to the fire. But in that moment, they gained back something even more valuable: hope, wrapped in soft, gray fur. Story 3. Daniel and Rocky, soldier and dog. Daniel had been away for 12 months, serving overseas. Every day, his parents would send him short videos of Rocky, his loyal German shepherd, waiting by the front door around the same time Daniel used to come home from work. On the day Daniel finally returned, his family decided to surprise Rocky. They waited until he was distracted. Then Daniel stepped into the backyard. Rocky froze, ears forward. Then, in an instant, he bolted, bounding across the yard, leaping into Daniel's arms, whining and licking his face, as if to make sure he was really there. Daniel later said, "I knew Rocky missed me, but I didn't realize just how much until that moment." Story 4. Sarah and her horse. Sarah's childhood was shaped by the rhythm of farm life, but at the center of it all was her closest companion, her horse, Thunder. From the moment she could walk, Thunder was by her side. Weekends were spent riding across open fields, exploring trails, and sharing secrets only he would ever hear. To Sarah, Thunder wasn't just a horse, he was family, her confidant, her best friend. But life has a way of forcing difficult choices. When Sarah left for college, the demands of time and money made it impossible for her family to keep Thunder. With heavy hearts, they sold him to another farm hours away. Sarah tried to adjust to her new life, but a part of her always remained with Thunder. She often wondered if he remembered her or if the bond they shared had faded with the passing years. On her birthday, Sarah's parents gave her a gift she never expected: a trip to visit Thunder. Nervous yet hopeful, she walked into the paddock and softly called his name. For a brief moment, there was silence. Then, Thunder lifted his head. His ears perked, his eyes locked on hers. In an instant, he galloped across the field, stopping just in front of her, pressing his muzzle against her chest. Story 5. Bella the Rescue Dog. Bella's story began in hardship. Found wandering the streets, she was weak, malnourished, and infested with ticks, her once bright spirit dulled by months of survival. Rescuers brought her into a foster home, where, with patient care, she slowly regained her strength. Day by day, her coat grew shinier, her eyes brighter, and her trust in people began to return. Then came the moment that changed everything. A man scrolling online paused when Bella's photo appeared. His heart skipped a beat. She looked exactly like the dog he had lost nearly 2 years earlier, a companion he thought was gone forever. Hope surged through him as he reached out to the rescue, desperate to know if it could truly be her. When he arrived, Bella was cautious, hanging back, uncertain. But then she caught his scent. She stepped closer, sniffed his outstretched hand, and recognition lit her eyes. In an instant, her tail began wagging furiously, her body pressing against his legs as if she never wanted to let go. Soft whines escaped her, the sound of relief and reunion. The foster family, who had cared for her so lovingly, stood by with tears streaming as they witnessed the miracle of connection. Bella had found her person again, and her person had found her. Together, they walked out the door, ready to leave behind the pain of separation and begin a brand new chapter filled with love, trust, and the comfort of home. Story 6. Kiwi the Parrot. Kiwi, a bright green parrot with a personality as vibrant as his feathers, once shared a daily rhythm with his owner. Mornings were filled with cheerful songs, bits of fruit shared at breakfast, and endless chatter that only the two of them seemed to understand. Their bond was more than routine. It was a friendship woven into every day. But that bond was suddenly broken when an apartment fire forced them apart. Kiwi was lost in the chaos, and despite desperate searches, his owner never found him. Days turned into months, and months into years. Though life moved on, the memory of Kiwi and the sound of his voice never left his owner's heart. 3 years later, a bird sanctuary contacted him. They had rescued a parrot matching Kiwi's description. With cautious hope, he went to see for himself. When he stepped into the sanctuary, Kiwi tilted his head, studying him. For a moment, silence hung heavy. Then, out of nowhere, the parrot spoke the words his owner had said every single morning. "Hey, buddy." That was all it took. Recognition sparked instantly. Kiwi stepped onto his arm without hesitation, nuzzling against his cheek, as if the years apart had never happened. From fur to feathers, one truth shines through: love never forgets. If Kiwi's reunion, and others like it, touched your heart, Don't forget to subscribe for more stories like this. Because every animal, no matter how big or small, deserves a happy ending.